His brows tightened as he stared at the two images on the desk. Something didn't make sense. Without a word, he pushed his chair back and hurried to the filing cabinet, flipping through the sisters' medical charts with growing intensity. His eyes scanned the blood work once, twice, and then slower, as disbelief settled into his expression. Across the room, Brianna and her twin sister Brittany watched silently, their excitement from the morning appointment fading into unease. The doctor finally stopped flipping pages. His eyes widened. "How is this even possible?" he whispered. Then he turned toward them and the look on his face made both sisters' hearts drop. But before we go further, take a moment to like this video, subscribe, and turn on the bell. It helps us bring more unbelievable true stories just like this one. Brianna Dean and her twin sister Brittany had always shared a connection deeper than most people could imagine. Their bond wasn't just emotional, it felt almost physical, as if their lives moved in parallel without effort. But even with that closeness, when it came to relationships, they normally kept things private until something was real. And for Brianna, something very real had happened. She met Josh Sawyers at a twins festival of all places. He'd been there with his identical twin brother, Jeremy. While Brittany chatted casually with Jeremy, Brianna felt an instant, overwhelming connection to Josh. It felt like destiny, the kind that made your stomach flip before your mind could catch up. When Brianna finally told Brittany about Josh, she expected excitement, not silence. Brittany stared at her, stunned. Then she confessed something Brianna never saw coming. She was dating Jeremy, and it was serious. Two identical twins dating another set of identical twins. It sounded like a story written by fate itself. Soon the sisters were imagining the same wild dream. A double wedding, shared homes, their kids growing up together. Life felt like a perfect mirror. Two sisters, two brothers, two matching love stories. But before any dreams could become real, they agreed to visit a doctor mostly to ease their mother's concern. It was supposed to be a simple checkup, routine, nothing more. Instead, the doctor listened quietly until they mentioned the brothers were identical twins. His expression changed instantly. He warned them gently but firmly to reconsider starting families with Jeremy and Josh. He expressed concerns, genetic risks, complications he couldn't fully explain without testing. The sisters brushed it off. Love had carried them this far. Nothing could shake their confidence. They had their dream wedding together, they bought a home together, and soon after, they were pregnant together. Everything felt perfect. Until the first tragedy struck. At 3 months, Brittany miscarried and Brianna only 4 weeks behind her, panicked. If their bodies were so similar, could the same heartbreak happen to her? 4 weeks later, it did. Their joy collapsed into grief, but the twins leaned on each other, refusing to let the loss define them. And when they became pregnant again months later, they swore to be extra careful. But during one appointment, the doctor's expression shifted again, this time with unmistakable urgency. He reviewed their charts, flipped through their scans, then bolted upright. Something was very, very wrong, and he had just discovered it. The doctor pulled a chair close, lowering his voice as he placed the chart on the desk. His earlier panic softened into something calmer, almost amazed. "Nothing dangerous," he began, "but something extremely rare." Brianna and Brittany exchanged anxious glances. He explained slowly, identical twins marrying identical twins created a genetic scenario almost never seen in modern medicine. Even though their babies had different fathers, the genetics were astonishing. "Your children," the doctor said gently, "will not just be cousins. Genetically, they will be full siblings." The room fell silent. For a moment, both sisters simply stared, unsure how to react. Shock, confusion, awe, it all hit at once. Then the doctor smiled. "For an obstetrician, this is like witnessing a genetic miracle." Relief washed over them. After everything, the miscarriages, the warnings, the fear, this was the first piece of good news they had received in months. 8 months and 2 weeks later, Brianna delivered her baby safely. Brittany followed shortly after. 2 healthy babies, 2 glowing mothers, and 2 overwhelmed fathers. 4 parents, 2 families, 1 home, and children biologically closer than anyone could have imagined. But not everyone celebrated. Once their story spread, the world began watching, some amazed, others criticizing. Interviews, documentaries, and even a TLC special followed. Reporters asked invasive questions, people online speculated, and strangers formed opinions about their lives. But through it all, the twins stood united. They focused on their children, their home, and the remarkable story fate had written for them. A story so rare it bordered on impossible, yet somehow perfectly real. 2 sisters, 2 brothers, 2 children born into one extraordinary family. And for Brianna and Brittany, that was all that mattered.